Well, good day everyone. How are you feeling today? My name is Tamer, and today I'm going to talk about why I'm holding a lot of cash right now and what is my strategy in investing for the upcoming years. First of all, let's talk about the strategy. So, building my portfolio, my strategy is to hold shares in good businesses as long as possible, as long as those businesses or companies can increase their earnings and use their competitive advantage to grow their businesses. Well, in terms of mindset, simplicity, and thinking long term, this is my main goal in investing. Looking at famous investors around the world, like Peter Lynch, like Warren Buffett, also like Bill Ackman, and more, all of them kept it simple while investing, and all of them made huge returns when they did just that. People might be surprised because I put Bill Ackman here, but I think he's a really good example why keeping things simple makes you huge returns. If you don't remember, in recent years, Bill Ackman made some huge bets, complicated bets I would say, on companies and lost a lot of money. And this year, 2019, he kept it simple and he made huge returns year to date. Currently, he returned more than 40% this year only by investing in companies that most of us know, like Starbucks, like Chipotle, and more. And that's why I put Bill Ackman in the list, because it's really relevant to what we're talking in this video. Adding to the simplicity, the main goal is to stay invested in the stock market and thinking for the long term and not being myopic. And I will explain why. If we take a look at the stock's return, annually they returned 8% adjusted for inflation, and bonds for exchange returned almost 1.8%. Well, the main focus is investing in good businesses, as I said before, businesses that have moat, that can increase their earnings in the future and can preserve their competitive advantage. Well, how my portfolio looks right now, as you can see, I'm holding currently 60% in shares or stocks and 40% in cash, and I will explain why I have increased my cash position in this time period. As you can see, I'm holding 40% in cash because of some risk that I will touch on in a minute. Some might say 40% in cash is too much. I would argue that it depends on your returns and what you're looking for in the market. In this time period, I would be more comfortable to hold a bit more cash than usual for reasons I will show you in a second. Well, now I'm gonna present to you some ideas or some risks that I think that might happen, and also, by the way, economists and professionals are also stressing about. So first of all, let's talk about the short-term risk, the trade war between the US and China. Economists and professionals are expecting that if a trade war between the US and China continues without the countries reaching any deal, then both countries might enter a recession or at least a huge slowdown. It is important to note that we are talking about the largest economies in the world, with GDP of $20 trillion for the US and a GDP of $12 trillion for China. Short-term risk, China's mess. The financial heart of China, Hong Kong, is still suffering from protests, and Hong Kong already entered a recession. The economy shrank by 3.2%, and if there will be a military action, then it might rattle the whole stock market in the US, by the way, and also in China. Short-term and medium-term risk. We are late in the cycle, folks. I think, like many others, that we are in the late economic cycle in the US. The US markets and the economy has been growing since 2009, and I expect that at some point in the near future, in a couple of years say, this expansion will come to an end, and when it comes to an end, it means that earnings will grow lower, which means in return that stock prices will also start going down. Short-term risk, Democratic presidency. By the way, I have no biased opinion about Democrats or Republicans. I'm just stating what the opinions in the market and my opinion is. The US is heading into election in 2020, and if Trump loses to Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, the market will get hit. Why it will happen? The consensus in the market, at least for right now, is that Trump is good for business and Wall Street, while Warren and Bernie could make it harder for billionaires and for businesses to grow, and they might put some restrictions or regulations. You have to take this opinion with a grain of salt, and I will explain why. Because when Donald Trump was elected, people went crazy. People thought that it will be the end of the world because he was talking about the whole tariff things. And when he gave his speech, the stock market just soared, and currently, if I'm not wrong, the stock market is up more than 40% since he has been elected. Now let's talk about the medium and long-term risk, which is the high levels of debt in the US and around the world. For April this year, we are witnessing high levels of non-financial debt of $10 trillion. 50% of all bonds that are graded as investment grade have a triple B grade, meaning that they are one grade away to become junk bonds. And if you didn't know, when a bond becomes a junk bond, and it means that some institutional investors might have to get rid of the bonds because they are not in the investment in grade, and they have to only hold investment grade bonds. So as you can see, there's some risk that we should be aware of as shareholders or market participants, and for the reasons I have stated above, currently I hold more cash than usual, yet I can assure you that if I find a good business, I will not hesitate and I will buy the shares while keeping a healthy amount of cash in my portfolio, just in case something bad happens and I can buy more and more shares in companies or businesses that I love. So first of all, I want to thank you for holding on for this much, by the way. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and comment and leave a like. It will help a lot for this video and it will help a lot for this channel. As you can see, I have only 61 subscribers. If you think that I deserve more, please subscribe and comment and leave a like. And I also want to say something about my Instagram channel. If you have any suggestion or any comment or brainstorm some opinions, please don't hesitate. Just DM me in my Instagram account. There I post daily and there's a big chance to see your DM. So thank you for watching and have a great day.